All right, welcome back. Just at 4,000 on the Nifty in this edition of Profit Newsroom. So nothing much seems to be really changing on the individual scorecard. I'll just refer to a couple of stocks which are moving up. You've got Euroceramics, some of the mid-caps names, Petronet LNG from the relatively larger names coming up in the last 10 minutes or so, but lots moving down. India Bulls Real Estate continues to be smashed as one of the heaviest losers in real estate today. GM are in for a similar fate, and you've got Dewan Housing, Shrey Infrastructure Finance and SpiceJet. Airlines are having a bad session. ATF is going to hit them even more in terms of the price hike which was announced as of yesterday. But let's focus on auto. In light of those auto sales numbers, much discussed, both on a year-on-year perspective, there has been a rise, but on a month-on-month perspective, what are individual business segments throwing up for these companies like Maruti, Bajaj Auto and TVS Motors? Sheetal's got more details with her. Sheetal, let's start with Maruti, then we'll come to the two-wheelers.
Yes, Namrata, the auto numbers were announced today. Maruti Limited posted a healthy growth in its quarterly sales. If you compare it with the Q1 sales in FY08, it stands at around 13.5% growth, which is a decent number of growth. But however, interesting point to notice is that Maruti 800 sales have actually gone down by around 13.5% vis-a-vis a positive growth in the previous month. The sales are primarily driven by MUVs and export growth for the company. Two and three wheelers players like Bajaj Auto and TVS also announced their sales numbers today. Bajaj Auto registered a sales growth of around 8.5% in the Q1 of 09, whereas TVS registered a growth of around 3.6% in Q1 of this year. Now let me come to Bajaj Auto first. The motorcycle sales was the key driver for the sales, which was primarily driven by the DTSI portfolio. The company plans to launch 4 new vehicles in the 125cc in this year, starting from July 08. So that could definitely give a boost to its sales in the next month going forward. CV sales are also going to add to its portfolio in the second half of the FY09. Tata Motors has seen muted sales of around 2% growth, and new Wimbledon series, which will be launched by the company, would give a boost to its sales going forward. Namrata?
Sheetal, the first quarter in itself looks quite decent. The operating environment has been quite tough. But if you take a look at the Q109 numbers compared to Q108, they've done pretty well for themselves, although we have numbers from only 2 large companies, Maruti and Bajaj.
Yes, Prashant, Maruti and Bajaj have done pretty decent as far as the Q1 numbers are concerned. TVS, however, being a little of a muted performance and a blip out there. However, the key factor to watch out would be the Hero Honda numbers, which were clear winners in the 2 and 3 wheeler space in May 08 on a complete basis in absolute numbers as well as in the growth percentage terms. So that would be a key factor to watch out for. Prashant?
All right, Sheetal, many thanks indeed. Let's get in analysis from Mahantesh Sabarad, Senior Research Analyst of Centrum Broking. Mahantesh, let's start with Maruti. Are you surprised with the kind of movement? I believe the lines has a problem, but we'll just get Mahantesh back on just these numbers. So it's important in the context of all the interest rate pressure which was expected to haunt these sales, that the first month or June has been fairly okay, and Q1 of the first financial year has been fairly okay for these companies. But within that, on a month-on-month perspective, there seem to be certain categories which are showing slowdown concerns, and whether you can really write June's movement into July is still a big question mark. Mahantesh, let's start with Maruti. Are you surprised by the numbers?
Yeah, I'm surprised, slightly lower than what I would have anticipated they would be able to do in the month of June. Now, this is given the fact that they've just managed about 2.5% growth just for the month. It's the earlier months which have been stronger in terms of sales. So we've had the first quarter passed off really well for Maruti. So I'll say on the June numbers have been slightly disappointing. So not by much.
Do you think the real impact of rates will come in effect in the months of July or August, or do you feel that the companies are showing more resilience than you previously anticipated, and therefore the price targets might be at least kept stable, if not cut?
Yes, I tend to agree to the latter part of what you said. The price targets would remain stable because we haven't seen the interest rate impacts really flow in terms of auto sales becoming extremely weak. They are at least posting growth. They are not posting a degrowth in an environment where we have interest rates almost at 15%. This is commendable performance by most of the automobile companies managing growth in such a situation. And then valuations being at such a low, I think most of the auto companies are valued.
Mahantesh, look ahead a little bit into the rest of the year, if I can say. How are things likely to pan out?
The rest of the year, I think we have positive triggers that can come for automobile companies in terms of their sales. We have festivals. We typically have the festival season coming in the later half of the year. We'll have typically the fourth quarter to look for when the sales are better. And moreover, we have had a situation where key government policies have changed. Excise duty has fallen for cars. Excise duty has fallen for two-wheelers. A lot of farmer loan waivers have taken place. You have had fixed pay commission being rolled out. So these are positive triggers that one can look forward to. Manufacturers, automobile manufacturers can look forward to in terms of boosting their sales or keeping at least steady in terms of their growth rate.
Mahantesh, out of the large auto companies, anything that you would buy at current levels? I was looking at a report, I think, that you had done a couple of weeks back, highlighting the valuation difference between Maruti and Hero Honda.
No, actually it was Bajaj Auto and Hero Honda. Yes, to answer your question, Bajaj Auto remains our best pick at this point of time. After the demerger, immediately it starts with a very lean balance sheet. And a lean balance sheet, when you juxtapose it with the earnings, you get fantastic return ratios. And then the valuations are extremely weak. And then you have a management here who is willing to share profits. There is a high dividend yield that you have on Bajaj Auto right now. Good dividend payout, a strong company in terms of growth ahead because they are already talking of new launches. And yes, there is a big valuation difference between Honda and Bajaj Auto, so that makes the case for Bajaj Auto being the top pick.
Talk also about the product portfolio of Bajaj Auto. In the month of July, there's a new launch of a bike, which should be good news for them. Just talk about how these new launches will contribute.
See, Bajaj had last year, almost a year back, had introduced this new BTSSI engine. Now this BTSSI engine, on that one engine has spun off so far only one product, the XCD bike. What Bajaj Auto, I understand, is looking for is to use that engine as a platform for developing more products, and we can expect more bikes to come from that BTSSI engine platform now. But typically it will be on the 125cc plus side. Over and above that, they have access to KTM Austria. Now, the KTM Austria is the sports bike manufacturer where Bajaj has 25% stake. They will get access to water-cooled engine technologies from them. And I think we can expect a bike of that kind to be introduced in the top end in the market soon. So we will have these kind of launches.
Mahantesh, would have loved to speak more with you, but we are completely out of time. Thanks for joining us and running us through what really is happening as far as the auto space is concerned. BGR Energy, that's one. Let's end this show. That's all from us here on Profit Newsroom. Thanks for watching. All the corporate focus on Power Lunch.
We made another day low, 3972.